Breaking records left and right, it's Critical Role episode 88, now officially the longest ever episode. No, episode 50 doesn't count, half of that episode was Christmas. God. And it deserves to be. Wowie. This is Natural 9 episode 88 covering Critical Role episode 88. Last time, after going out to sea and fighting pirates, Vox Machina and Taryon Darrington arrived at Vestra to help Keyleth complete the final leg of her Aramente, learning a little about her mother's fate in the process. The party begins their prep for the next day. Logistics about shooting guns underwater, spells, ranged attacks, and attacks in general are all points of discussion. It's not looking too good for our heroes, unfortunately, with a lot of disadvantages pointed out. Who gets to do what spells are discussed, and Terry continues to crush on Kiki. That's fucking weird, guys. I'm sorry. It's just weird. It's weird. At least he gets swindled by Vex for a poison bolt. Animal forms will not work with the vestiges, and Vax rightly states that planning is bullshit. Terry worries a bit about that, though. Ultimately, a semblance of a plan is decided on. Half the party transforms into animals, and the other half rides them. Grog then punches a whale. Ultimately, they decide to have a Heroes Sunday bar. The next morning, they remedy the spell problem after taking about 10 years by using something called a throat bead that they are provided. And they're given goggles, too. Kiki asks about her mom again, and apparently she died several years ago. There were no other remains of her other than that leg. Vax and Kiki have a heart-to-heart, and Vax thinks that her doubts, that Keyleth's doubt, will never really go away, but that's not a weakness. They remember Uriel, may he rest in peace, and recall that he used his doubt to inform his decisions, and that Kiki taught Vax how to be happy again, and Vax believes in her, which she's grateful for. And then she gets wing pets, and more? Wing sex? Skyfucks? Skyfucks. Sam said it best. The next morning, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Wind sailors all around, hanging 10. Kiki warm paints it up, and the party heads to Uvenda as they make their final preparations. Terry knows all of the knots. Somehow they all sound like sex moves.
You know how to use knots, right? You can do some
I know every knot in the book.
I knew you would.
The double sloop, the reverse cowgirl. I know them all. I've got the itsy bitsy spider. I know.
Keep going.
I know the rusty trombone. I've got.
The old Alaskan pipeline.
Yep. I've got the figure 8, the figure 4, the hidden figures.
The college two-step.
I've got a bunch of them. Yep.
The Sweet Caroline.
Oh yes, that one. That one's good.
Good for tension.
They get extra water breathing beads just in case. Terry, you can't just ask if the twins' parents loved them. Duran, a dwarf straight out of Venice Beach, guides them to the plane, and Dodie stays behind to birdwatch very intensely. Swimming down, the scenery is beautiful, and the party reaches an underwater tower, and oh god, I have to search for the I may have been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild, you'll excuse me. They reach the rift, which, compared to the elemental plane of Fire Rift, is a lot calmer. Then we finally see an example lodestone, which appears to be made of the same material as their throat beads. The lodestone is also very magnetic, which Percy figures a compass will help find, and Terry provides said compass. After the break, we enter the beginning of the search. A lot of elementals show up on Vex's scan, and Grog's farts are helpful for once. They're deep in the elemental plane of water. The first cast of Locate Object finds a lodestone, and Trinket is the cutest bear ever. After Vex reassures him that he's gonna be okay and he'll have a whale of a time, the party rolls stealth and heads for the first lodestone. They go past stone structures too big for human-sized beings, and finally hit a dead end where the stone might be. Initial searching yields nothing, but the first signs of the Kraken are seen by Kiki. Careful searching continues, and the first lodestone is uncovered and put into the bag of holding. Another lodestone is detected, but the party keeps wary as they head to it. Terry's tummy can't quite handle the ocean. The second lodestone is so close and yet so far. Vax manages to plane shift to the Nine Hells and solo Hotus with his stealth check, and Terry thinks he found the location, but last I checked, lodestones weren't shaped like human heads. And then he rolls a beautiful set of natural ones for stealth and investigation. We might be at DEFCON Kraken. Thankfully Vex found the lodestone, but not before initiative is called. Oh god. The Kraken is on its way, and Vax blesses Grog's and Kiki's timelines with an extra d4. Kiki prepares a daylight arrow, and the Kraken unleashes its lair action to shock some fuckers. The daylight arrow is shot, while Travis's Fitbit tells him to get swole, I guess. Vex hits with that daylight arrow, and another lightning arrow won't do much. Percy hexes the beast and grabs the lodestone. The Kraken reveals a lot more about Taliesin than he bargained for as it grabs Terry, Percy, and Grog. Yay, Terry! He rips off one of his patches from his robe and casts Hypnotic Pattern. Too bad the Kraken saves. Sanctuary goes up. After a ton more fighting and searching, involving Grog and Kiki both being swallowed at one point, resulting in a fireball-based escape, the third stone is discovered by the twins and placed into the bag of holding, but not before the Kraken gets its licks in. Kiki goes unconscious for a second, but Grog fixes that with a potion. After the third lodestone is obtained, the party decides to live to fight another day, and after some tense negotiations with the DM, all transform into water eels as they make their escape. That escape is short-lived, however, as the Kraken can't hurt them with electricity, but it can hurt them with tentacles. Vax and Kiki get grappled, but Grog frees Kiki and tries to feed Vax, but it doesn't quite get there. Kiki goes down but comes back up and starts controlling water to shoot everyone into the portal, but the Kraken gets to do something and shoots everyone away from it with its own water control. The escape continues, and Percy's the first one to escape. And Vax is swallowed as he goes unconscious. Grog continues attacking the fuck out of the Kraken, and then the Kraken reaches out to Grog mentally, psychically. And it's angry. It is angry. Probably shouldn't have done that, guys. Probably shouldn't have done that. Grog continues his assault anyway. Kiki focuses on getting everyone out and gets Grog out of there. That focus ends up costing her as she goes down again. Vex, not thinking straight, attacks the Kraken in her rage. Grog takes another hit, and Vax fails death saving throw number 1 as Grog gets swallowed. Which is good because he can find Vax and heal him. If only he could find him. Fucking natural 1 investigation check. Vex's shark friend that she summoned earlier in the fight helps get Terry out, who gets his own licks in with Prismatic Ray. Vex heals Kiki up and begs her to save Vax, who fails death saving throw number 2. Grog takes swings inside the Kraken and crits in the last attack, which is just enough to spit Grog and Vax out. Save him! Save Vax! He's safe, right? No, he's not. No, he's not. Vax fails his last death saving throw. Vaxeldon, champion of death, is dead. And Kiki does not take that well. She manages to grab the twins and escapes using plane shift and heads to Vestra, leaving everyone else behind. Terry and Grog are the only ones left, though. And Terry falls. And Grog pieces the fuck out before remembering that Terry has one of the lodestones too. After Percy yells at him that he does. Terry takes a death saving throw and Percy struggles to remember what to do. But then he yells at Grog to throw the nitwit into the portal, using friends to make it more suggestive. But Grog considers who exactly he means. Thankfully, Grog interprets it as grabbing Terry, and they head to the portal. Percy pulls Terry through and heals him, and Grog is the last one left. And then he gets swallowed. And then he gets his licks in again, and it spits him out as he flips him off and birds the fuck out. And the episode ends. Holy fuck. Save Vax. Save his fucking life. Save our protagonist. Tell me he's gonna be okay in the comments, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to send prayers to the Raven Queen. Then make sure to check up on my death saving throws on Twitter. I've been a sad man on the internet, and is it Thursday yet?